Mike, I don't mean to go 90 degrees to the other side, but I thought it was an absolutely apt coincidence that on the same day, in the same week that all of this is happening, a guy most Americans don't know who he is, a guy named Jordan Addison, a wide receiver from Pitt, transferred to USC. And who cares? Everybody just says whatever. Well, Jordan Addison is probably going to be a very high draft choice in the NFL when he comes out, or in the NFL draft when he comes out. And there are many rumors out there, and I don't cover college sports, so I don't know, but there have been reports that one of the reasons why he is going to USC is because he can get so much more NIL money by going to, a school in a bigger market, a bigger city, trumpeting more headlines, all that other stuff. So, and I have no idea whether that is going to happen or whether it's not going to happen. But you can see exactly what is happening now. That if schools in big cities are going to be able, with tremendous amount of money behind them, are going to be able to use the market that they're in to help recruit players to get more NIL money, then it won't just be, the traditional college powers in Tuscaloosa, and in Athens, Georgia, and everything. It won't be just those places that are going to have a lot of NIL money to spread around. It's also going to be in places that are a little bit down the recent college football pecking order. Places like USC, and that to me is a byproduct of what we saw yesterday in the skirmish between Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. But as far as their skirmish goes, I think that, as I said, I think it's good to get a lot of this out in the open instead of having it, underground where everybody always talks about it, at the bar and all that stuff. But it's never really talked about openly. That is a vitally important thing, I believe, to making sure that this thing gets fixed.
And this is also, Peter, the consequence of a corrupt system that exploited players, that denied them fair compensation for their skills and abilities. When you have years, decades, multiple decades of college football basically becoming professional football with different helmets and uniforms and younger players, but you see how many people are there. You see how many networks vie for the rights to televise the games. The Big Ten package is going to generate some record financial windfall. Not that it's a windfall, because the schools deserve it and ultimately the players deserve it, but the players have been denied. I've said for years, you go to a college football game, everybody working there is getting paid except the players. And when you have that kind of corruption that is baked in for so long and it finally blows up, the reckoning finally comes, it's going to be messy. And it's messy. They're getting the chaos they deserve. And everything that's happening is a direct result of years and years and years of exploiting young athletes and not giving them anything in exchange for what they were bringing to the table, other than the wholesale cost of letting one more kid go to class who doesn't want to go to class anyway, or maybe isn't even going to class. How much does that really cost? How much are they really getting? That, to me, is the bottom line in all of this, and it's their own damn fault that they've allowed it to get to this point. It's their own damn fault that they're now caught in this crazy new reality where Nick Saban realizes, I'm going to have a hard time competing. And to the people out there who still believe that this is some sort of a long con by Nick Saban where he's firing a warning shot, basically, hey, if all these other schools are going to do it, I'm going to do it too. He would just do it. He's not going to say, well, maybe I'll do it in a year or two if everybody else keeps doing it. No, he would be doing it. This is not a warning shot. This is an SOS from Nick Saban to try to get things back to where it was, where everything was equal at some level, and he could close the deal. in whatever specific way he closed the deal. Jimbo Fisher may have some things to say about what Nick Saban would do to close the deal. So this is what Saban wants. They moved his cheese, and instead of adjusting to it, he wants the cheese to go back to where it was.
Well, here's the other part of it, Mike. I don't know what is true and what is false here, but I certainly don't dismiss what Nick Saban said out of hand. I mean, I don't think that this is some sour grapes version of Nick Saban, saying something. I don't doubt that what Nick Saban has said, he has absolute total belief is true. And what the truth is, I don't know. We don't know. I think the only overriding thing in this whole situation is that, the NCAA has, in essence, washed its hands of the affair once the NIL thing started. They may say that they are policing this, but clearly they aren't. They can't. It's impossible. It's a system run wild. Remember when the University of Miami basketball player about a month ago started saying, hey, listen, here's a warning shot to everybody. If I don't get more NIL money, I'm transferring. I mean, I forget how he worded it, but that's in essence what he was saying. I read the Miami Herald story about it, and I just said, my God, did nobody see this coming? Did nobody see this, whoever this guy was at Miami? I don't even know how good he is. But didn't someone see it coming that players were going to start to, I don't even want to say abuse the system, but I'm saying use the system in an incredibly distasteful way? Here's a player, and I'm sure he's not the only one, who has said to his coach, listen, if I can't make any more money here doing this, I'm going to leave. I went to Ohio University, and they had a very good basketball team the last couple of years. Well, two of their best players, maybe their two best players, transferred this year. I think one to Alabama, one to Virginia. And my first thought was, they're going to get more money in the SEC and in the ACC than they would in the Mid-American Conference for doing the exact same thing, playing basketball. And look, I have no idea why they transferred, but that was the first thought that came to my mind. When guys enter the transfer portal now, all you can think of is, hey, it's like the great front page of the New York Post a long time ago when Ivana Trump was fighting Donald Trump in divorce court, and she didn't take the offer that Donald Trump gave her. And on the front page of the New York Post was a headline, Ivana better deal. And that's what all these basketball and football players are doing now too, the ones who enter the transfer portal. They want to play more, and they want a better NIL deal.
And this is the chaos that the system deserves. For years of denying the players not only direct payment, but the ability to earn anything from their name, image, and likeness. Not only are we going to set up a system that says thou shalt not receive anything more than room, board, tuition fees, and snacks from your school, you can't even market yourself. You can't enjoy the benefits of your fame and your notoriety. Oh, we're going to sell jerseys with your number on it, but and we're not putting your name on the back. Everybody knows it's the number you wear. Everybody knows that for the 2 or 3 or 4 years you're here, if it's number 1 on this school's day, that's you. That's why they're buying it. They're not buying it because they like the number. They're buying it because they like you, and it's the number you wear. But you don't get paid any of it. That, you use the word distasteful, Peter, as it relates to how the Miami basketball player is handling his situation. It's distasteful that for decades the NCAA and the schools hiding behind the NCAA logo kept the players from getting anything. And so now they're in a position where they can get everything. And they should. I got no problem with it. Go get paid what you can while you can for the skills and abilities that you have, for the work that you put in to maximize them, for the physical risks you take, especially in football. Go get paid what you can while you can, however you can, because the guardrails are off. The guardrails that were there were antitrust violations. So now they're waiting. And what they need, and this is one area where Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban agree, Peter. There needs to be federal legislation that is fair and appropriate to everyone that properly regulates this scenario. But even then, should there be? I don't know. There's no federal legislation that regulates how NFL players get paid or any other professional athletes get paid. It's like anything else. Somebody has a skill set that they are making available, and the marketplace decides what they get for it. And if they think they can get more somewhere else, they go try. What's wrong with that? It's the American way. So why do we have a problem with athletes trying to get more money for the things that they can do? And maybe they get it, maybe they don't. Maybe they're successful, maybe they fail. But you know what? There's such a small percentage, especially in the NFL and in college basketball, of guys who make it to the professional level and get paid. I think it's good that they're getting money now, because the vast majority of them are never going to get it. It's all the promise of going to the NFL. They all think they're going to the NFL. It's all that lure of going to the NFL. And how many guys never make it and never have anything to show for it other than the degree that they may get? And I'm not discounting that, but you also should be getting a piece of the pie, that this giant billion-dollar pie that you're contributing to while you're playing. And it's good that some of that money's being reshuffled and the players are getting something more than what traditionally they have gotten, which is nothing.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.